Okay, now within this video, I'm going to continue the our development. Let's go to the let's create the project using the command line cmd. Let's open this. Okay, let's get npx create React app user profile manager. Okay, it will started creating a new project. It will take time to complete the process. Let's wait until it's complete. Okay, now our project has been created. Let's go to the let's open using the VS Code. Let's open folder htdoc user profile manager. Let's open that. Okay, now we have a brand new project, uh, React project. Let's start our development. Let's go to first. Let's go to the src and app.js. Let's remove these unwanted things. Let's remove these headers. We don't need those things, and also we don't need these things. Let's remove those. And I need within the index HTML. I need to include different font formats and icon links. That means CSS link. I will add those things directly to that. I will copy from my computer. Here, I will add those things to that means before this title. These actually these are Google font awesome things and material icons. Those kind of things. Let's bootstrap and I will rename this application. Let's say user profile manager. Let's 0.1 or something version. We can put like that. And also within the app.js, I need to create. Let's go here. I need to create some layers. That means some layouts. Let's create those div tags. Div class name equal to some bootstrap uh, classes. Let's create container Excel, container Excel, and also inside of that I need to create div class name uh, table 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 responsive and let's create another one div class name equal to table wrapper wrapper. Okay, like now we have layouts and also within this video I'm going to demo you how to create user context provider. That means here we going to use that mean uh, as we as we discussed before, here we are going to create that means we're going to connect this application with the REST API. That means we need I will create a context provider. That means using user context provider we can get data, we can edit data, we can delete data. Likewise we can use those REST APIs. First I will create that part in here. I will create folder called context inside of the src folder. Uh, I will create a context folder using src. I'll create a folder called context. Context inside of this context folder, I will create a file called user context.js. And within this context.js, I'm going to implement all the list data API and edit data API and create data API, delete that means those APIs reference I will create within this video. Okay, and yeah, here first we need the export. Sorry, export. We need to export our context user const that user context user context. Let's um, create create context user context create context, and let's so yeah, we imported that context. Here you can see it imported, and okay, and also we need to const let's get user context provider equal to uh, props, sorry, arrow key function. Let's create a const. We need to say set the user status, users, set users, and we need to use state, sorry, state. Here we have initiate value is zero, empty. We need to import this use context. Let's use state use state mm, use state. Right now we need to here uh, yeah, here I'm going to put our server URL. Server URL equal to uh, HTTP localhost 3000. This is our server URL, and here I will create first profile load data from our API. Let's create const. Uh, let's add comment load data from URL const fetch user fetch users equal to wait axio axios. Here we need to import this first axios. Let's import here. Not here actually. Here we need to import axios from React. Sorry, from axios. Okay, and okay, we need to install axios. Let's open the command. I will install the Axio. Let's say npm I s axios to React. Let's open this more. Okay, let's run this. Okay, it installing. Let's continue our development. Here, here I'm going to fetch data from server. Here we don't fetch async synchronous function and arrow function. Let's within the arrow function we have to use try catch. Always try to when we use collect data from API, use try catch, because that if the promise is failed, then we need to handle that scenario. Let uh, res response. I use res as a response. Await await axio. Let's say method is get, and URL is we have to use the our dollar let's say a server URL, and so users I'm planning to use a JSON server. Then we need to call the URL like this. Then and JSON equal to true. Okay, now our URL is okay. Now we need to return this. Return res dot data. Okay, now we have returned it, and also we need to try catch block error. Let's say it in the we log this console log dot error our error. Okay, and we return if the error happen, we return empty set. Okay, now our fetch uh, API call is created, but here we need let's say okay, here we need the user effects. That means you use effects. Let's create that as well. Use effect. Okay, I think use effect. Yeah, use effect, and let's create use effect const. Let's say get users equal async. Let's say async arrow function const. Let's say users from server equal to wait uh, fetch users and yeah, we have to set users using the user state. We use set the using the server users from server. Right, now we have completed that thing. Then we don't need this return part, and we need to call the this get users. Okay, and now and also we don't need this thing. Okay, now we have get users. We already created get users. Now we need to return these two from this context provider. Let's create the return. Here we return as a user context provider. Let's say user context provider. No, user context dot provider value equal to users. For now, we only return the users, but we have to return more things. That's props dot child. We need to use this. We need to pass this information with the child uh, children 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 children. Okay. Now and also we need to return this default export uh, default user context provider. Okay, now we have we have we can collect data from this user API, and let's create other APIs as well, other use other APIs as well. Let's create API then, because create API, let's create the create API. Here let's say create user API. Okay, let's create const create user profile equal to sync. Let's say user. We need to pass the user data. That means use create user form data. Let's say try. The try we can add let response equal to await Axios. Okay, Axios. Let's create Axios. Let's set this method equal to post, and here we need to give the headers equal to uh, content type to application JSON application sorry application JSON, and right here to URL equal to let's say a dollar uh, use server URL and users, because it is post method. Then it is insert data JSON through, and data we need to pass the data. Let's say JSON dot string5. Let's set our user. Okay, right now that is also correct. Created. Then let's const data equal to wait res dot data. Get the data, and okay, let's create. We have to set the our that mean users state. Let's set our old users and data. Okay, now we have created that, and we have to define the catch. Oops. Okay, here catch. Let's say error. Let's console not log error. Let's say error. Okay, and yeah, here we don't need to return anything. Let's create the send this create thing. We can return create user profile, and also we need to create edit user. Let's create the edit user profile. Let's create const edit user profile equal to async. We need ID and also edited user profile. Okay, and let's use the arrow function and try using try catch. Let's add let res equal to wait and Axios. Let's create a method equal to get not delete. Method is delete. No, this is put, because this is update. Put and headers. We pass the headers as well. Let's create the headers and content type equal to application JSON. Okay, and okay, that's it. Okay, here need to add URL equal to dollar server URL slash users slash dollar ID, because we need to pass the ID as well, and data, we need to pass data JSON dot string file. Let's add the edited user profile. Yeah, now we created that as well. Now we need okay. Let's set users. Let's say users dot map users dot map. Let's say user arrow function user dot id equal to id, then edited user profile, else user, what is this? Okay, edited profile user. Now here we need to put this. Okay, now we created our edited. Okay, here we have to catch. Okay, within the catch, let's console dot error. Let's say error. Okay, now we have edit profile thing. We can pass this as well with the our return edit user profile. Okay, now we have only delete profile thing. We can create it as well. Let's create delete profile. Let's create delete user profile. Okay, let's create const delete user profile, and let's sync. Let's add the ID. We need the ID to pass ID, and let's arrow function. Let's create try wait within the Axios. Let's create method is delete and URL equal to dollar server URL forward users ID. Okay, this delete method, then it's delete. Okay, Json true. Okay, now we already created the okay, now set users. Let's set the users dot filter, sorry, filter 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 user dot id, not equal to id. Okay, now we created our you set user thing, and we need to have catch dollar error console dot error. Okay, now we have delete user profile as well. Let's return that as well. Here we need to return this delete user profile. Okay, now we have created the delete user profile, edit user profile, and also create user profile and load users. Yeah, I think we let's start our server. Let's check our server first, because if it is work fine, then that means there's no any issue. In npm start uh, team start, and also we need to install Json server. I think let's first check this. I think we may need Yeah, there's no any error. Let's check console as well. First, developer tool. Okay, console. Also good. Then it's work fine. That means we can install our JSON server. Let's Control C and stop this and let's install JSON server. Let's create npm I JSON server. This is the JSON server install command. It will install in JSON server. Mm, let's go to the package JSON. Okay, it is the package JSON. We can see once this completed. Now it's completed. Let's go to package JSON. Here you can see it will add a JSON server, and we can give that mean how to that mean we need to create to JSON server. We need to create DB. That mean keep save. That mean we need to save the our data within the file JSON file. We have to give that file name, and we can configure those things within the this JSON server file. Let's do that as well. I will create here within the script. I will create the JSON server configurations. Here server add let's say JSON server watch. We call this as a DB JSON. Let's give the port as a 5000. But let's check with the this port. It will check this port or not. And I will create the file for this to keep our data within the JSON server. Here, this is our JSON server file. I think I have example. Let's find some example data from let's say okay. I have some example data. I will put those things in here. I will only keep one record. Let's say let's say only this record. Okay, now only I have one record within the our JSON server db.js file. Now we can start our JSON server. Try to start it. Okay, now our JSON installation is completed. Let's start the server. Let's say npm run server. Run server. Okay, it returning error. Okay, why is that? Let's check our configuration. Package JSON server watch DB JSON port 5000. Okay, and dependencies JSON server. First, I think we need to save this first. Try right now because package JSON we didn't save. Let's try it again. Yeah, it's working. It's working with the 500. Let's check it is work or not. Go to localhost 500, 5000. Okay, let's put our yeah we have users. Let's go to check user. It's return users or not. Here it will return the data. That means our JSON server is working. Now our uh, we need to start our let's start our application. Uh, npm start. Okay, our application is starting. Uh, we still not included our context provider. Let's include that within the file. Let's app.js. We can put our context provider in here. Let's say user context provider. Yeah, it imported. As you can see, it imported within here. Let's create. Okay, inside of this context provider, we can put our any child object. That mean um, component. This component can be have that mean it can have access with the user context provider. Let's go to browser. Okay, let's it says use effects is not defined. Let's check. Let's context provider use effects. Let's yeah we didn't import the use effects. Let's import that here. Use effect. Let's run now. Now it's not returning anything. That means our JSON server and context provider work perfectly. Let's meet with the next dude there. I will continue this development as a different, that mean a list of videos. I think within this video I only cover this context provider and JSON server installation. Let's meet with the next video. Thank you.